Hola. Welcome back to my channel. I know I've been away for a while, and there's a good reason for it. I'll talk about it further on at some point in the video. Right now, I'm in Terminal 3, Toronto Airport, and I'm waiting for the flight. I'm not going to say where I'm going at the moment, but you'll find out soon enough. It's March break, and it's a little crazy here right now, with all the kids going away. And on this particular trip, now that I'm getting back into traveling, is I'm going on a bit of a holiday with my son, Julian. We're heading off to a sunny destination. He hasn't been away in 3 years because of the whole COVID nonsense. So this was a great opportunity for me to give him a bit of a break and to have him experience something fun. Since he's had to go through a lot of the stressful times of what COVID did to children. I'm sure everybody here now understands how stressful and hard that was on people's mental health, especially children, especially at his age. Remote learning, staying at home, not seeing his friends. That was all extremely difficult. And I thought this was a wonderful opportunity to take him to a sunny destination and do some fun things. So yeah, we're here, we're waiting to board. And if you can look outside, you can see just how gray it's been here. Currently I'm in Toronto, it's my base. This is where I'm at right now. I've been here now for a few months, and I haven't been traveling, and there's a really good reason. I'll talk about it in another video, like I said. I don't want to bore you guys right now with the long story, but I am hoping to travel again soon and do more vlogs. And I appreciate your support. I appreciate you guys following me and liking my videos, commenting on them. And I'd really appreciate some feedback. If you can, let me know, what you want to hear, what you want to see. Any comment whatsoever would be great. It's really appreciated. I'd really like to turn this into a lifestyle. I mean, I'm not a professional travel blogger, but I have been to so many countries and places in my lifetime, especially before the internet and before technology. In the 80s, I was a backpacker. I was traveling through Asia. I was traveling through India. And these were the days before cell phones and the days before fax machines. Back then, when you traveled to a place like Asia or India, you were really out there. I remember the first time I went to India in the 80s, there was literally nothing that reminded me of the West. There was no KFC, there was no McDonald's, there was no nothing. There was no phones, there was no fax machines. There was really no way to communicate with your friends back home except by sending them postcards and letters. And that's what we used to do. Back in the day, you would have an itinerary. You'd let people know where you're going to be. And usually you'd have your mail sent to a posta restante, which is like the post office would have a special section. The central post office in every city would have a special section for collective mail. So if let's say I was going to be in New Delhi at a certain period, I would say mail me to the New Delhi Central Post Office, Poste Restante.
We're only open for pre-boarding.
Sorry about the noise. Mail me to Poste Restante, New Delhi, and
for boarding, there will be our book one, the board will be 32.
okay, I'll try that again. So if I was going to New Delhi at a certain time, I would ask my friends to mail me anything they wanted me to read to that post office under my name. I would go to that post office, and then I'd look under alphabetical order and find my name there and see if there was any mail. And that was it. That was the only way you would actually stay in touch with people. And conversely, if I wanted to send mail to people, I would have to write a letter or a postcard, and that was it. Back then in the 80s, there wasn't really even fax machines, so you couldn't even fax people. That was only later on in the 90s that we had access to fax machines. And telephone calls were prohibited. They were very expensive. Like if you wanted to make a phone call from somewhere in India to Europe or North America, it'd be prohibitively expensive. You'd basically have 5 minutes. Also, getting money was a very difficult thing. In the 80s, you really had to use traveler's checks and American Express traveler's checks. That was really, there was no bank machines, there was no credit cards to speak of. I mean, there was you could have a credit card in the 80s, but it didn't work internationally, especially not in a place like India. So many times I would have to transfer money to an international bank to access funds and so forth. It was a very, very different time. I mean, today we have Instagram, we have social media, we can stay in touch with each other. And to be frank, it's not as fun because, there was something special about being in a culture so different from your own and not having access to your friends and to your normal community, and it allowed you this period of isolation, and it allowed this period for you to discover yourself in a different way. Whereas today with social media and Instagram, you're never really away from anything. Your identity is constantly being reinforced by social media and your friends. So even though you might be in a different country, you're still experiencing the same things through your social media. So it's really very different. Also, the people you're visiting there, because now they have access to mass communication, social media, you're all kind of like linking up and you're kind of thinking along the same way about things. Everybody knows who Shakira is. Everybody knows the latest news, etc. Whereas back then, you only knew what was going on in your own local community or country. It was a very different time. Anyways, okay, we'll catch up and we'll see where we end up. All right, so thank you again for following me, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.